Good morning. I'm going to do a reading specifically for the 4 owls here. I'd like to call on all of the ancestors, angels, elementals, and spirit guides for Josh, for Ashley, for Amanta, and for myself to please guide me in finding the messages that we most need to hear in this time and space for our highest good, for ourselves, and for the highest good of all. I'd like to start out by getting a central card that relates to all of us as a whole, or central cards that relate to all of us as a whole. And then I will work through each one of us individually. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What do we almost need to hear for our higher purpose today? Let's get a central issue for the 4 owls, please. Central issue for the 4 owls. We have the wheel. We have the Ace of Arrows or Ace of Swords. We have the Hooded Man or the Hermit. And we have the Page of Stones or the Lynx as the central issue here. All right, let's call on the energies of the North and Earth element, energies of the Earth and North element for myself. Okay. I just pulled these cards earlier for myself, some of these. Oh my God. 3 of these cards I just pulled for myself earlier. I'm not kidding you. That's crazy. That's incredibly crazy. That happened to me yesterday too. I was shuffling and like 20 cards flew out, and I was like, that's way too many. But there was one that was kind of like, it was kind of off to the side, and I looked at it for a second, and I was like, no, it was just too many, so I put it back, and I shuffled for a minute, and it popped right back out, the same exact card that I had looked at, that I was like, I don't know for sure. It came out again, so. All right, I'd like to call on the energies of the East, fire element for Josh, energies of the East, fire element for Josh, energies of the East, fire element for Josh. All right. You had 1 pop out. Let's call on the energies of the South, air element for Amanta. 7 cards, I guess we'll take it. All right. Ooh, I pulled some of these cards too. Wow. Okay. And let's call on the energies of the West, the water element for Ashley. Energies of the West, water element for Ashley. Ashley had 2 pop outs. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so I think I'm going to read each of our energies separately, and then I will move into the central issue that we all need to focus on. So I'm going to start out with Josh. So fire element, East directional. You received the 7 of Stones. It says on the bottom of this card, healing. If you look at this card here, there's the green woman is sitting here, and she's healing this man here. I feel that the man laying on the ground is you. You are in this process of healing currently, and I feel that the green woman represents the 3 of us, together helping to heal him completely and fully. We all have the green woman within us. you know, to tap into the earth energies, the divine energies, to heal Josh completely and fully. This might represent, you know, this upcoming healing ceremony that Josh needs, and all of us tapping in here. I feel that the number 7 is very relevant here, not only because, Amante, you have 7 cards here, but there's 7 stones in this card for this healing ceremony. So possibly we need to look at using the number 7 for the healing ceremony for whatever reason. In any case, I think that this is the primary focus for you, Josh, at this point, is to surrender and allow for the healing to occur. It looks to me as though the only thing that you need to do here is to just simply be present, you know, and offer what you can to this process, but to not overexert yourself, and to make sure that you're taking care of your time, energy, and resources, and not overextending yourself, so that you can be fully present for this ceremony that's upcoming. All right. We're going to read Amanta next. All right. So you have the shaman, which correlates to the magician. You have the 9 of stones. You have the archer, which correlates to the chariot in the traditional tarot. The moon on the water, or the moon. You have the ace of vessels, or ace of cups. The 6 of vessels, or 6 of cups. And the 4 of bows, celebration. I think that we all know this, but you are kind of, you are the leader, you are the shaman here, the magician. You are leading, you know, in a certain sense, this whole gathering of us coming together as a whole. You are in touch with all of your gifts and all of your resources, and you're able to provide that. You know how to use the tools at your disposal to create change and to shape things the way that they are meant to be shaped. That's what the magician and the shaman is all about. And you've been on this journey for a long time. So we also have the 9 of vessels, or stones, 9 of stones, or 9 of pentacles, which represents that. This says tradition. This is you. You're in a meditative pose here underneath the moonlight. You are very tapped into ancestral wisdom, spiritual, divine guidance. You have all of this support behind you to help lead you along on your personal journey, as well as this journey that we are all on together. He's holding two snakes. He has the Ouroboros in one hand and the snake in the other hand. I feel that the snakes represent that change agent, that transformational process, because the snakes are constantly shedding their skins. And I feel that that's relevant not only to you, but to all of us, to continuously remember to shed our skins, to be reborn again, because that's the true nature of a shaman. All right, we also have the archer here. This correlates to the chariot card. This is all about focus, will, intention, and desire. We all need to have a very clear focus. Amanta, this card popped up for your area, but this is also relevant for all of us. The direction of our intentions and our insights needs to be very clear at this time as we move forward. Amanta, you are the archer here. You embrace this energy, and so this woman here is putting all of her will, intention, and desire into pulling this arrow back and getting ready to launch the arrow or the sword, the insight, inspiration into the universe. She has her spirit team behind her, supporting her, and she's never alone on this process. She needs to listen to that guidance to continue to put forth the purest and most whole intentions into the universe. You also got the moon on the water. I also received this card earlier. This is revealing what's underneath the surface. The moon is here to illuminate shadows and also to illuminate what's blooming and growing underneath the surface of the water. This nest egg that's underneath the water is hidden inside all of us, and it is coming to life, and the moon is illuminating this, showing us, you know, the treasure that lies within and beneath. And the shadows here, I feel, represent having an awareness and acknowledgement of all of the elements of ourselves and of each other. And also, especially, I think, for Amanta, because you have the full moon in two different cards here, I feel that the full moon here is maybe a time period through which you especially, and maybe all of us, will find some very significant enlightenment and new information regarding this group project. So let's watch for the next full moon. You also have the Ace of Vessels, the Ace of the Waters of Life. This is being connected to the whole of life in terms of fullness, abundance, energetic abundance, spiritual abundance. The waters of life, we all are water. Water is in all of us, and it's all around us all the time. It is the building block of life. And I think it's especially relevant that there's a swan and a deer in this card, or a stag. Both very powerful animal totems, representing the stag represents the earth and groundedness that maybe you need, and also the the swan represents gracefulness and being able to equally move between the emotional and spiritual world and the air element that you are from, keeping that movement available, being able to spread your wings and fly, but also being able to tap into the waters of life here, the abundance, and to find groundedness as well from the well from which they are drinking. All right. The Six of Vessels showed up here. It says here reunion. The Six of Cups or Six of Vessels tends to represent sometimes past energy or past emotional investments here. This is a remembrance. This is an acknowledgement for that which has passed and all that is yet to come. This cave here in the background, I feel, represents the new life that's coming into this pond. And the candles here on the surface of the water are representing that remembrance. So I think for you in particular, it's very important to not forget where you came from and to not forget where your inspiration and insight comes from. There's a need to continuously acknowledge that, especially in terms of past emotional investments. There's some sort of remembrance coming through here, some sort of like commemorative kind of I'm getting commemorative, like a remembrance, like some sort of respects paid to something of the past or someone of the past relationship or relationships, you know, family ties. I'm not entirely sure what this is about, but I'm sure you will. I feel that that's very important for you. This feels really significant to me. This is individual for you specifically to do this. And then finally, we have the Four of Bows, of course, the Four of Wands. This is four people dancing around a fire in celebration. It even says celebration on the bottom of the card. The Four of Bows represents fruitfulness, abundance in terms of actions and doing things and making changes and using passion, will, and desire to create change. Four people here around the fire. This represents all four of us coming together, which you are one of. You know, and you bring your own things to the table here with this personal remembrance journey, and you know, you needing to tap into the groundedness and your gifts fully, and sending those clear intentions into the universe as to where you individually want to go and where we as a group are going, because you are, you know, in a sense, you are the leader here. You are the shaman, you know, and you're kind of leading the way and lighting the way. And the moon here again, just a reminder, the moon is, the full moon feels really relevant for you individually and for us as a group. We're going to have to pay attention to that. Okay. We're going to move into water. West element, Ashley. You have the Strength and the Page of Arrows, or the Wren. The strength, this actually says the woodward, but it correlates to the strength card here. If you look at this guy, he's been through quite a lot. He is very connected um, to the lynx here, which is interesting because the lynx actually shows up in the center here of all of us. So I'll get to that in a minute. But the lynx is fairly significant here. So maybe that's something we need to look into as well. But anyways, he's been through many trials and tribulations in his trek through the wilderness. He's had to come across many obstacles, many challenges, face many difficult situations, and he is willing and able to live in a symbiotic relationship now with this lynx. This lynx, or this beast, represents the beast of himself. You know, in a certain sense, this represents his shadow self, the pieces of himself that previously in life, or that you previously in life wanted to fight, wanted to hunt, wanted to kill. There were pieces of yourself that you tried to conquer, to put to death, so to say, or to ignore, or to bury. You know, there's all these different ways that we avoid the shadow self, and this message is relevant for all of us as well, but it's especially relevant for Ashley. This is Ashley in the present moment. She has this symbiotic relationship with the shadow parts of herself, and her strength leads her forward into a new path, a path of no longer fighting, no longer hunting, no longer trying to dig up, things, or to try to stir things up, or to try to bury things. She's fully present, and she's having this symbiotic relationship with this lynx here, this beast, and she is able to move forward onto a new path in a new light. And the new light is being represented here by the Page of Arrows, or this is the Page of Swords in the traditional tarot. And the wren here, if you think about this card here, this little baby tiny bird is in the middle of this wintry landscape. And the situation and circumstance around her could feel very cold, very tumultuous, very dangerous even potentially. But the wren is able to survive in this landscape quite well. Very, very quick moving bird because it's small. And so, Ashley, you are the Page of Arrows, or the Page of Swords, representing that new, fresh inspiration, that new insight that is needed. You know, you and Amanta both have some pretty strong arrow or sword elements here in terms of ideas, in terms of insights, mental inspiration here. And I feel that it's very important for you to continue to nurture these new ideas and these new inspirations, to continue to fleet and fly through the wintry landscape. You know what you've been through, and you know that you can make it through that because you've already been through that, and nothing that could be thrown your way is going to stop you now, So this is really important to really hone into those ideas and inspirations, and no matter how crazy they may seem, no matter how whatever, and you're doing great with that already in my opinion, but it's really important for you to be this Page of Swords, Page of Arrows. That's your role currently in the present moment. Okay, we're going to move up into my energy. So I have the Sun card, the Balance, the 10 of Arrows, and the Ace of Bows. I think it's interesting. We have 3 aces here, by the way. Let me just pull it out. So we have the Ace of Vessels, Ace of Cups. We have the Ace of Arrows, or Ace of Swords, in the middle here, which I'll get to in a minute. And then and they're all in a line. I've also got the Ace of Bows here. So the Ace of Bows, it says on here, the spark of life. This is that passion, will, and desire, that creative internal energy, which really is lit up by this. This is the Sun card. Now, this is really interesting. I want to share this. I received this card yesterday along with, I don't remember what the other cards were with it, but the way that this spread was laid out and the way that I read it, it was that an enlightenment and primal energy was going to be lit up within me. And then I didn't know what was coming, when I read that spread yesterday. But after, Josh and Amanta and I had met, and we did what we did with my clearing, this card came to mind immediately. This is like that solar plexus activation as well. And so this is showing up again. I just had it earlier. I had pulled it again, showing this solar plexus activation, which is where my inner flame resides. You know, I've been focusing on this a lot. And so this internal flame, this internal desire, this internal spark of life, which is this here, the Sun card, this masculine primal force, creative change agent, correlates to the Ace of Bows or the Ace of Wands, that wanting to create change and to do things differently and to have passion, will, and desire to create, specifically creating from within, I feel is coming through here. So me maintaining that solar plexus activation and healing is important, as well as focusing on my creative will and desire, I think is important here. I also have the Balance and the Ten of Arrows to continue to release ideas, programmings, insights, inspirations that no longer serve me. Old ways of doing things are being let go at this point. There's a lot of wisdom to be gained from everything that's been learned here along the journey, but there's a need to take what is needed and leave the rest, and to shoot new intentions out into the universe. Also, the Balance card represents, I think for me, not putting out too much energy all the time, and maintaining a better balance with how I externalize my passion, will, and desire, and taking care of my inner flame and bringing that energy back to myself as well. Maintaining and healing the solar plexus, as well as all of my chakras, and maintaining a balance between my creative pursuits and allowing those pursuits to brew and to develop. So not necessarily acting super quickly, but allowing time to pass to allow those creative ideas and pursuits and inspirations to come to me and to pursue things with a balanced state of mind. Okay, we're going to get into the central issue here. So we've got the Ace of Arrows or Ace of Swords, we've got the Wheel, we've got the Hooded Man, and we've got the Page of Stones, which is this Lynx that showed up in Ashley's Strength card. I'm going to start on this one. If you think about a lynx, and I think this is all of us right now in the present moment, we're approaching this new opportunity with caution. And that's exactly what the lynx is doing. Now in this card, the lynx is alone. The lynx does not have a companion with him, which possibly makes him feel a little less safe, right? Now we as a group together we are safe, we are protected, and we can approach these new opportunities with confidence and with a sense of connectedness and support around us. The Page of Pentacles represents a new opportunity approaching. We are all, I think, approaching it cautiously with some sort of reserve on a personal level, possibly. But there's a need to trust that we are fully supported here as a group. And, we do have, this symbiotic relationship we can embrace and let go of our fears and just open up to the opportunity here. The Hooded Man is here, and I think it's also interesting that the Hooded Man also has a Wren in the card here. So these new insights and new inspiration, I think all of us need to make sure we take time for ourselves. And maybe we need to schedule like a day completely off where we don't try to push so hard all the time. I know this is brand new and we're all really, really excited and we all really, really want to share and do things, and try to make this happen. But I think this Hooded Man is coming here. The Hermit is coming here to remind us that even with all of these new insights and inspirations coming to us and these new creative pursuits and these needs to heal, we also need to take time for ourselves to retreat, to get back to ourselves, to come back to center. And I feel that this is incredibly relevant as we move forward to do this. So it may be important for us to discuss, a day off, like completely off, where we're not trying to, create, but instead are tuning into ourselves only. You know, I think that's important. We also have the wheel here. This isn't surprising. This represents the cycles of nature, the changing of the seasons. This is what we're going through right now. Things are changing for all of us in so many ways. And we are in tune with the natural cycles of life. And there's so much that we can create as things change and as things fall away and as new things come to life. And this healing is really important for all of us, specifically for Josh in the present moment, but also for all of us to regenerate and restore as things change and fall away. And then the Ace of Arrows, the breath of life. This is a brand new opportunity. It says on here, the breath of life. This is going to give us all life. This opportunity that's presenting to us is going to give us new life, new ways of breathing. I feel that the smoke here on the card represents the movement of the soul here. We're all ascending. We're all clearing out. I think it's interesting that the smoke is coming from, you know, a fire, which could be this fire right here, this coming together, you know. This is the fire that's creating this smoke, right? And so there's a movement of the soul, a movement of the journey to a higher dimension is what's coming through here. But at the same time, a central focus is required. And also, I think it's interesting too that this is a square here, right? There's 4 corners here, which, you know, to me represent the 4 directions, the 4 elements. So yeah, retaining that central focus as we feel this new life and new inspiration coming to us. All right, I'm going to do one more thing, and I'm going to grab an Archangel Animal card to help close off the message here. What else do we most need to hear for our highest goods? Harming none. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One Archangel Animal card, please. One Archangel Animal card. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the 4 owls. The eagle. Awesome. I'm going to read the eagle. It says on here, seize opportunities courageously. This is cool. You know, all of us, I think, said we've seen eagles now. Yes, because Amanta, you had seen an eagle. We saw eagles yesterday. Let me get to the page here. This is the card of the visionary who focuses on clarity and awareness of the objective. That's the Ace of Arrows there. You are advised to be very clear about what you want to achieve or manifest. View it from the most enlightened perspective so that your intention is for the supreme good. Be watchful and aware of everything that is happening. Remain motivated so that when you are ready for action, you will move fearlessly and tenaciously. Treat challenges and seeming setbacks as opportunities to raise your game. Constantly remain calm, centered, and serene no matter what you are presented with. When you do this, you will always stand in your power. People will see your majesty and will respect and honor you and your vision. Be aware of your own divine splendor. All right. Aha! Aho! We'll see you guys on Monday.